not close to level 4. They will be okay as far as DK not going down, but problem is the bottle's coming, and MNT, well, we've seen this one before. He sniped a few couriers in his time. He's actually expecting the courier to be coming out now, but a slow bottle from Weeha, he's going to neutral his way to the 660 gold that he needs.
Yeah, in some ways, Weeha's slower CS comes to an added benefit of not getting their couriers.
It's funny when you play that support, you're like telling your mate, give him 1 or 2 CS. Like, come on, just let him get that bottle coming out, because you really want to snipe it, and if you beat him too hard in the mid lane, it comes too late, which is what's pretty much happened now. It's already upgraded. It's already flying.
Oh, Skylark in some serious trouble. Does manage to get the spike carapace on some of that damage. Skylark is going to be run down underneath the tier 1 tower. Resolution takes the shot, but he does die into the tier 1 in exchange. Of course, that experience not going to the Nyx Assassin still okay, but a bad time all around for Nyx as Misery makes the rotation out, no longer trying to make that dual lane work, tries to shove back the Nyx Assassin a bit more.
Yeah, kind of negates the win there with Morphling going down. He loses some of that unreliable gold he had. And Nyx not getting the XP, as you mentioned, does mean that it's not like Skylark gets all too much, but Resolution's advantage taken away. So we'll see for now. Spartan just continuing to free farm up the jungle. He's getting closer and closer to that level 6 timing. We'll stack a medium camp once more, and then with Black Hole online, the mid lane is very viable kill. Level 6 Timbersaw, level 6 Enigma, throw Black Hole. There you've got yourself your first kill on the mid lane.
Skylark going to be chased away, but he did manage to get the bounty rune. Weeha beginning to pick up some CS, but still trailing quite a bit behind Thug, who's sitting at 29 and 4. It seems like the combination of damage reduction between these two, Weeha has not been able to overcome that heavy stat reduction of Whirling Death, and it's Thug who's taking the advantage thanks in part to his early Quelling Blade.
Yeah, it brings out the raindrops now, so ganking him to try and turn this lane around or reset it gets that much more difficult. We're going to block that Breathe Fire damage, and we'll see what Adfinim's move is going to be. The lanes are looking so good from there. They're not really under pressure to make any moves, but if they can get like a rotation out of Enigma, it's going to give them that much bigger of an edge.
And a little bit of attempt at block out there over that narrow staircase, hoping to be able to keep Skylark in the lane just enough for Moon to come. Oh, nice bounce back. God. Skylark is going to end up falling here inside the river. Beautiful play by Moon Meander. Was just about to, oh, there it is! Thug actually finished him off, that Whirling Death. The stat reduction stacking up. And Thug does manage to get that kill with the double damage.
Just the individual plays from both Moon there on the bat, and then we see the mid laner Thug getting a solo kill on Weeha. This is the kind of thing you look for from some of your big playmakers when you're in these key semi-final games.
Yeah, I was so sure that bounce back from the Flame Break was so good by Moon Meander. And then we look over towards mid, and I thought, oh, Wee's just TPing away. Looks like he should be fine. And boom, at the last half second, Thug is able to finish him off. And that is probably a much bigger kill. Yes, you got the Nyx Assassin, great for Moon Meander, but a solo kill for Thug means so much. He is now level 7, maxed out Whirling Death, and has Chakram. Even a Dragon Knight, and how pinky he is going to have to be wary of this mid lane.
Interesting little Radiant scan smack dab on the Enigma jungle where the Eidolons are. Saw nothing, but this is a big telltale sign. Enigma has hit level 6, is smoking. That's a really nice way to use the scan. It doesn't find a hero, but it gives them the intel they're looking for. Is where is this Enigma? Is he off ganking with the Black Hole? And when you don't see him at those camps, you damn well expect him to be rotating somewhere on the map.
Yeah, they look and try and place a nice aggressive ward to be able to see rotations into the off-lane camp. Spartan's still able to sleep on by here with his smoke. He's going to go in deep into the jungle.
Timbersaw has a TP. That's perhaps the big playmaker that can come down to this bottom lane as well.
Maybe next time's already made his rotation, so they are going to set up for a potential 4-man fight here. Resolution's already blown the way for him too. This is perfect time for Adfin to be able to come in from behind. Spartan's here. He will manage to get it before the Dragon Tail. No stopping. That's done. They're going to be able to combo. Double kill for Skylark. And now they actually look for more. Misery's fast enough, he will get away, but Thug, look at that, he's got a haste and he's like, let's go, boys! Let's dive that tier 1 tower. Misery's gonna be caught. He knows he's done for too. He's gonna throw out the pods. It seems like his mouse is dead. He wasn't doing anything there.
I thought that was
pretty obvious.
I thought it was like the whole position, like, I accept my fate, take me.
That's what I thought it was
okay.
too. We'll die.
But he wants to use that last bit of decay or whatever it may be, you know, get that bit of extra efficiency.
Not gonna happen though. Cut down, and Adfinum bring all 5 of their heroes down to the bottom lane, manage to pick up 3 and start putting some pressure on that tier 1 thanks to the Enigma.
That's one of the best rotations. seen all tournament. That is just such a clever way to use. Normally you typically expect the smoke Enigma to go towards the mid lane, kill the DK, and that's why Weeha's like, it's not safe here. The Enigma smoked, he's not in his jungle, he's coming to gank me, so you join up with your team, you go to the bottom lane where you feel like it's the safest place to be. Safety in numbers, he's with the Morphling, he's with the support, but Venom bring the whole team. They have the Enigma flanking while the TP onto the tier 1 from the Timbersaw, everything was just perfectly set up.
And Spartan, he throws the black hole just before the Dragon Tail can come out. If that Dragon Tail hits on the Enigma, maybe one of those heroes can actually escape, but both cores end up getting caught.
That's my mouse, what's going on?
Top lane, we're about to see and Venom start setting up. They just picked up the level 6 on the Nyx Assassin. He was trailing behind this Batrider too when it came to levels quite heavily. Natural, just because Batrider is just a stronger laner and able to utilize those neutrals. But now that they got that fight at bottom lane, he's picked up his level 6 and he can continue to keep the Batrider from picking up his big initiation item.
Yeah, they're such a tempo and momentum-based team that winning that first fight really sets things well. As Skylark gets level 6 off of it, and this Batrider or the Morphling could be in some trouble. Infest ready to go.
As long as they hit this Impale, there really shouldn't be any way for Moon Meander to get out. Misery's here too. They're going to pop it, and where's the Impale? They're actually going to go for Moon Meander. They missed the Impale. The slow is on to Misery. Looks like they try to get greedy and go for 2 different kills here, but Misery's going to be able to heal himself up. No Impale for another 5 seconds. They will be able to get the kill either way. Just running him down. Resolution with a waveform down for another 6 seconds. Moon Meander, he pops the Firefly, but that just leads him over to the Spike Carapace. Double kill from Madara. A bit of a bumble there by Venom, but swiftly recovered. Skylark may have to give up his life. He's running deep into the side of Digital Chaos's map.
He can buy 20, he's got another Vendetta.
Okay, but he doesn't get hit by the waveform. He's at least buying a lot of time, and there's no one on the other side to cut him off.
He'll swoop his way through, just buy time for another Vendetta, or even just walk himself back to base. And he's actually around this mid lane where they can to apply some pressure onto Weeha. He's completely alone here. Yeah,
Weeha could get a heavy dive, especially with Thug able to execute him so quickly with that big burst of pure damage.
Oh, he's been seen.
But they're not going to go for it. Moon Meander spotted him out, and there goes the Vendetta. Moon has no counter detection.
And that's okay for Skylark. He gets that extra intel for his team. Firefly goes on cooldown, so now you're like, okay, Moon's just jungling. He's not going to defend this lane. And Venom will just sit back, farm the next time or two. They're going to have a very early mech on the Enigma. The Lifesteal Armlet timing. These 2 items coming Skylark very close together.
Are you doing this? Yeah, he's doing that. He's going to go ahead and take that hard camp.
Wow. Doesn't even have a TP. He's just playing up in Moon's face, knowing that he's trying to risk that Blink Dagger.
Nice counter wards being laid down by Digital Chaos on either side of their tier 1 tower. As it seems pretty clear that Venom are trying to set up in those kind of rotations. Resolution going to be gone on here by Madara. Of course, nothing's really going to come of it. Just a waveform blown and a bit of man missing. Thug is going to be... And no. Moon Meander still quite a ways away from that Blink Dagger. 1,400 gold. Especially in a game like this against a Nyx Assassin Lifestealer. You never know when that next gank is going to be coming for you. So Moon has got to play it safe, but still try and finish up that Blink Dagger in the next 5 minutes.
It's really, this last couple minutes has worked out really well for Finn. And one of the best things you can do when your opponents overcorrect and start playing too defensively is just fall back and farm. They're farming like 4 or 5 different locations on the map, and DC are like over-investing in sentries. They're expecting the ganks to happen, and they're not. Venom's just out-farming them currently, so DC making a move, and it needs to come. They've got the rock. They're ready to take a team fight of their own.
Thug is going to be the first person moving forward, though, into this smoke, and he's a tanky one. They're going to try and lasso him up with all this magic damage. They might be able to bring him down. Misery nukes him a little bit more. Thug tries to make his way up, but can't quite get there. The Eidolons are big, and now a 2-man black hole gets laid down. Madara's coming in from the side. He does get sucked up in the Dragon Tail, but both the victims of the black hole will fall first. Now Madara looks for 2. Soxon's the target, goes for the TP out. No chance in hell. Madara takes the killing spree, and they push forward through mid.
3 kills and the rock. Lose just the Timbersaw. That's a very acceptable loss for Venom. They're they're not going to get top in time to defend the tier 1 tower. Resolution making use of the space being created by his team. But when it's space in the form of multiple deaths.
Skylark, okay. Resolution looks for them. Oh, nice Malphite just out in time. Now Spartan's going to be able to get away, but it looks like the Dragonite was still able to get that kill on the Nyx Assassin. Thug is back here now, and they have the mech. Spartan
You know there's no black hole, so DC want to get this tier 1 mid now.
And they know the Lifestealer TP'd up top lane, so he'd have to trek himself all the way through the river to make it to this mid lane engagement. AdVenom, though, do have some pretty good holding abilities. They've got both the Fate Bolt, which we've seen Rubik hold multiple times against various pushes, and Timbersaw, probably one of the better cores to keep tier 1 towers alive. So tanky, and a nice bit of wave clear as well.
Yeah, similar to the black hole being on cooldown, as is the chaotic offering, so DC themselves not going to overcommit towards that mid lane, and really AdVenom who can make those next couple moves. Even with black hole on cooldown, it can be a scenario where they use the Infest and the Nyx and try to find pickoffs rather than a team fight.
So much attention being played to Thug that at Digital Chaos, I think that, oh, we can actually move forward, keep going for this next hero, but the black hole and all of AdVenom circling up like that, they just managed to get so many picks off of that continued aggression from Digital Chaos. They just as easily could have tried to back away after they killed Thug, but trying to threaten Spartan's life as well is really what caught them in the end.
And doesn't cripple Thug's farm really at all here. He's still sitting on 5.1k net worth, pieces towards the Bloodstone coming up, so he's not been hit too hard by DC. That mid lane went very well from him. This is the Infesting, as mentioned. Skylark and Lifesteal just trying to roam around, find a single
scan. It lasts just long enough.
There's a sentry.
There are going to be sentries here. They might be able to catch, but Thug is making his first maneuver, managed to push 2 of the heroes into the trees, catches 1 right before the TP out. Now Moonmander comes forward, but he's already been caught. He gets right to the carapace. 3 down from Digital Chaos, and AdVenom just do not slow down.
That has been their story throughout this entire tournament, from the qualifiers to the main event. This team just keeps on going. AdVenom will take a tier 1 tower to follow this team fight of theirs.
Madara searches for that last hit. He will have it. He's going to have a Desolator nice and early. They're dire side 2, so Roshan is a possibility for AdVenom in just a few minutes.
They can push ridiculously fast. They're going to go straight into the pipe, go with the mech. They'll have mech pipe, potential Aegis Desolator on Lifestealer. Normally you'll see the Echo Saber first, but I think it's Madara just saying, I want to have the item that also helps me take down buildings faster with my team, amplifying not just his own damage, but the physical damage of things like the conversions as well. And DC are going to be put under a lot of pressure right now. We has Dragonite, very, very poor. Normally the story we've seen with these mid-Dragonites, a hero that can still be very effective even when behind on farm, but this is a whole nother level of being underfarmed.
Yeah, sitting all the way down at 4k net worth behind the Nyx Assassin. Nyx Assassin, who's about to pick up his Blink Dagger. Skylark is going to be very happy with that extra bit of initiation, because really that item gets amplified by the fact that he's going to be carrying the Lifestealer inside of him half the time, so a lot of opportunities for initiation.
I mentioned the Roche, it's happening. They've got the Eidolons, they've got the Lifestealer with the Desolator coming on Courier, and DC have smoked up, but I don't think they know Roche is going down. They would love to catch AdVenom grouped in the pit for a Rock plus Fatal Bonds combo, but AdVenom have found the perfect time to go for this when DC are unaware. Yeah,
with that tier 1 tower still up on the dire side at mid, there's no way that Digital Chaos can actually wrap across the map into this Roshan side in time. This Desolator is going to allow them to be able to clean up Roche pretty quickly, and it's going to be DC taking just a tier 2 in exchange.
Yeah, so the really nice things to do with the Enigma, being able to recast the conversions off of your previous summon if they multiply, and they may not be able to get back in time to defend the tier 2. They're not really set up. No one's TP'd to the tier 3 tower yet, so they will have to give this one up, but they're the ones who are going to be now pushing forward. If you can just get the kind of top lane equilibrium sorted out so that there's no threat of Morphling taking your tier 3 tower, you can break high ground. You've got the items, you've got all the tools you need. No pipe yet, I guess, is one of the main things missing. It is a hood on the Enigma at least, but AdVenom, they don't want to let go of the accelerator. They just want to keep on marching forward towards DC.
Yeah, DC do manage to make the read. Still no one has showed up to defend that top lane, so the possibility of AdVenom playing very aggressively is there. So they're playing hard on the left side of the map. Finally, the Morphling will back out as Timbersaw plays defense here. Haste Rune for Skylark with the Nyx Assassin inside. This is a prime opportunity for them to get a quick pick, turn into another objective.
Yeah, DC just haven't really been able to find those rotations you expect out of like the Batrider with his blink timing. They've used a couple smokes and they've gotten down wards, so they are looking to set themselves up to take some good fights, but they're running out of smokes. They've only got the one smoke left now, and smoking into a team that's very likely to be 5-manning with the mech, with the Aegis, and pushing towers is just not going to really work all too well. Even if you smoke and find the Nyx who's off by himself, he's got Carapace and has a lifestealer inside, so he can buy a lot of time for his team to catch up, and Advenom will reveal themselves, and if you see this, you're DC, they're actually thinking, let's fight into this.
They're going to go for the wraparound. Maybe next time. Maybe fortunately, maybe unfortunately, he's not going to cut through this secret shop. He would have been the one to pop the smoke, but maybe it's going to be his allies who are going to take the brunt of this initiation instead. Sure enough, there goes Skylar, unable to get the Carapace off in time. He still managed to get it towards the end of the last zone. It looks like a lot of Advenom will manage to turn around and fight against that tombstone. They've already taken out that big team fighting item, and Digital Chaos, they look like they can't actually fight this one anymore. They've gotten the Nyx Assassin, yes, but DC... Yep. Stalling out a little bit, not trying to continue to go for more.
They're scared of the Enigma because any other scenario there with the Warlock, you drop the rock. You make sure you kill that Nyx, or they do end up killing the Nyx, but you make sure you kill him faster and then you catch the backlines with the rock as well. But because there's Enigma, they want to hold onto that black hole to be able to cancel it, and kind of prevents DC from getting more. They get just the one kill and then they get scared and they back off. So they get a tower deny out of it, but Advenom still have a decent duration left on this Aegis to keep taking these outer towers.
Moon Meander. Oh, Madara actually turning. Weehaw blinking forward. His fresh blink dagger. It seems like initiation is key to everything here for Digital Chaos. Just because they are far enough behind in net worth, doesn't look like straight up 5v5s running into each other is ever going to work out for them. So they need to be able to find that quick numbers advantage. So having two types of initiation could be a boon for them. But Resolution's about to get caught. They're going to try and burst him down. They have the black hole too if necessary to eat through the Lincolns. Resolution makes his jump away onto the trees, but he does not have much mana to work with. He's going to try and go for the TP, but the black hole will stop. Finally, it will be expended by Spartan to kill the big carry of Digital Chaos.
If he could have saved it and not gotten the kill without it, he would have loved to, but he's more than happy to make sure they kill the Morphling.
Oh, nice jump forward here. Maybe next time manage to catch Moon Meander. Moon Meander going to go for an instant TP, and that will be enough to allow him to escape.
He gets out, but this tier 2 tower mid is looking somewhat vulnerable to the Advenom 5-man group up now, and Weeha says he doesn't want anything to do with it. He's just going to the top lane to try and put together what scraps of farm he can. There's a pretty short cooldown, short duration left on Morphling's respawn, but not a whole lot DC can do until he is back alive.
5 to 14, 19 minutes in, almost a 10,000 gold lead for Advenom at this point, and over 10,000 experience with this tier 2. Might just put them over that benchmark.
Easy tower for them. They in this position where they're not like on a timer. Like they don't have to win the game off of this Aegis. They're heavily out farming DC. They've got 3 cores well ahead of the Dragon Knight. Their offlane is kind of on a similar level, but with Enigma here, that's going to scale really well into the late game. Can also hit these scary item times where you've got Pipe and Mech for now. Next, you can kind of throw in the Grease or the BKB if you feel like you can get a BKB hole around the rock. But Advenom, they're not going to let go. They want to keep playing this fighting style Dota, and they are going to find Moon.
Immediately swarming in, they're going to be able to pick off Moon instantly and be able to defend this tier 1 tower. The jump forward, maybe next time, does manage to catch the Morphling. He's got a replicate out. They're going to have to try and get someone else on the back lines. This is where Skylar comes in. He's got 5 seconds till his blink dagger is up. See if they can catch Misery here. Misery does manage to juke him out a little bit, but now the blink dagger finds him. Manages to sidestep the impale. Doesn't look like Advenom are going to catch him, but maybe Saksa is going to be the one who's victim instead. Going all the way deep into the tier 3 tower, they get the telekinesis, and Thug as well as Mater will be able to combine their damage to bring down that support. That's 30 seconds. They can go ahead and try for a push. Unfortunately, they pushed all the way in, and their only real opportunity to go for any objective, I guess, would be through mid. That tier 2 is still up at the bottom lane, with the lane being pushed out by Resolution. Jump in, Moon Meander managed to catch Madara, but immediately turned around on Spike Carapace and an Impale. There's just no damage there from DC. Now, Advenom just going to keep on going. They found their opportunity to be able to go on DC once again, diving into Misery deep underneath the tier 3 tower, but now Madara is going to be comboed up. Weehaw with the Dragon Tail. Resolution provides the damage, and now Advenom will overstep themselves. Oh no! It doesn't get Spartan. That extra kill was critical. Still, though, Weehaw has a Blink Dagger. Thug is going to have to make himself a TP out, but Weehaw's going to be able to see him. They get the stun. Can they actually bring down this tanky beast, though? He has so much magic armor and so much regular armor, they don't even try. They just want to finally be able to take this tier 1 tower at mid.
Yeah, it's gotten low enough, and they're probably feeling like it's their time. Lifesteal is down. There's nothing to defend this one. DC find the Timber once again, but then they're like, oh wait, it's the Timber.
Yeah, you can keep on stunning unto your heart's content, but that does not mean you can actually put damage on the Thug.
I think Advenom just getting a bit ahead of themselves there. They're such a kind of gung-ho team that they were so keen to go diving for those kills. The Warlock was fine, but then they stuck around, looked for the second kill on the Undying, and problem was, Lifestealer had lost his ages. It'd been about 30 seconds since it had expired.
Oh.
At the buzzer, gets up.
Oh, Spartan is hyped up that he managed to get out, but that was still a nasty fight for Advenom either way.
It's kind of a good outcome now that they can go for the next tower objective because that Warlock Rock is on cooldown.
Moon Meander, I'm sorry, buddy, but you're not making it out of this one. Thug claims another kill, another Bloodstone charge. He's up to 15 already.
I mean, Advenom know this bottom tower and possibly even start chipping around the high ground without a Warlock Rock is very feasible for them. They can hit 4 resolutions, complete his Ethereal Blade on the Morphling. And even when he's got that, you're looking at fighting into Null Field as well as the Pipe on the Enigma. So there's a lot of magic damage resistance on Advenom's side. The casual Hood on the Timbersaw, Lifestealer's got Rage, Carapace on the Nyx Assassin. Everyone's got a pretty good way of dealing with the Morphling burst damage.
Advenom may not even give the opportunity for Resolution to complete that Ethereal Blade. As Thug is going to start marching uphill, he's going to be the big tank of this tier 3. We've got Madara outputting the damage thanks to his Desolator, Armlet, as well as an Echo Saber, picked up not too long ago. Alex ready to go with the initiation. He's on the back lines, currently Vendetted up. Probably have to blink in if they see an opportunity here. Digital Chaos, though, do maintain a very nice spread. 4 heroes all sitting behind that tier 3, slowly but surely harassing Advenom back while Resolution pushes out that top lane and will eventually get themselves a way to be able to push out and force Advenom away.
Yeah, Rezo is just pinging top while that push is happening. Like, look, if they want to force the high ground, they'll be trading towers. Morphling with the full agi can push just as fast, if not faster than like the 5-man Advenom unit, since only really the Lifestealer can hit the towers effectively. So,
I mean, this is a prime opportunity here, right? They know they saw Advenom back out, 4 heroes back out to the right-hand side of the map. Unlikely they're going to be able to link up to Madara in time here. They've already got the scan. Moon Meander's going to be able to make the initiation lasso, pull back straight to the Dragonite Dragon Tail. They're going to be able to combo stun him down. Skylar tried to get in there with a carapace, but the rest of Advenom were just seconds away from being there for the full-out team fight. DC just moved fast enough.
That was such a great read, and like you say, how fast they got there. They did not hesitate. A lot of teams would be like, all right, let's smoke, guys. They just backed off. They take 10 seconds to group up, then they smoke up, then they spend another 5-10 seconds deciding where to go. DC knew exactly where they were going and were all ready to go the second Advenom were out of their base. So very decisive play from them. Gets a kill on the board, gets Resolution, his Ethereal Blade, and they're doing a good job of just slowing down Advenom's momentum by keeping this top lane constantly pressured. That really has been the biggest part of DC's game plan. Take advantage of this top side of the map. Advenom don't want to spend time up there, and they're getting much more when they're pressing forward, pushing out mid and bottom, taking the Radiant jungle. These are the kind of objectives which will secure your Roshan, put DC in a tough spot, but they've still got to find a way to keep top pushed out.
Yeah, I mean, Advenom, you're looking at their endgame scenario here. You've got Madara as your high ground pusher. A Lifestealer, especially against a Bat Rider, is not the most ideal high ground pusher in the world, right? So if you look at this network lead that Advenom are currently holding on to, that is a little bit misrepresentative of the lead they actually have. DC are not that far behind simply because holding high ground is the easiest task of all these other things. Advenom were definitely going to take control of the early game, take control of the mid game for sure. They were going to have a net worth lead, but can they actually crack the base? That is the true test of Advenom.
I think there's still a question to be asked as to how are they going to get farm on heroes other than Morphling, since Morphling's the only one getting on the map. If Advenom do want to play the economy game, they can farm very big luxury items, like get a Lincoln Sphere on the Enigma to put on the Lifestealer, get a Solar. Timbersaw's going to have a Lotus Orb that he can put on the Lifestealer, so it's a very tough late game to play as like a kind of single carry life stealer against the Batrider, but they can kind of overcome that by sheer item advantage if they get to that point. Ideally, they don't want to get to that point, and that's where Thug, he picked up a Boots of Travel. It's kind of going to be his job to deal with that top lane, push it out, and then he can rejoin his team using those travels, but this game is still, in a very tough place for DC just because of the farm distribution.
Another round of initiation, and this one may come as a big surprise to Resolution, who's still pushing out that bottom lane. They have Spartan with a Blink Dagger now. His Lincolns will not keep him safe anymore. But fortunately, he will play it relatively conservative, pushes out just to the tier 3, immediately jumps to his replicate, starts going for the push on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, had that last couple seconds of replicate, so didn't force anything out of it, but it's the infested Nyx Assassin making moves. There's a Sentry Ward nearby, but he doesn't walk into it. Seems that Venom, though, just going to farm up the enemy Ancients, realizing that time spent inside looking for ganks that aren't happening is time wasted, and they want to get their next item or two. Get the AC and get that kind of reach their win condition.
What do you think? Skylark is holding on to a rather large amount of tier.
Yeah.
We usually see Nyx Assassins, if they want to go ahead and pick up the early minus, they'd pick it up by now. If they wanted an Aghanim Scepter, they'd have a point booster. Well, there it is. So
indecision, I imagine. Probably those talk like, does he get the Lotus Orb? But Timbersaw has the Plate Mail, so could be he's going to get the Lotus Orb, if not the Shivers. Shivers is good. There's not enough physical damage on the Radiant side to like demand the Shivers card. If anything, it feels like Lotus Orb could be more impactful, but no, he does go Shivers.
Okay, well, that does kind of still put us at that conundrum of who's going to be protecting this Lifestealer against the lasso initiation. We want to see a Lincoln's, we want to see a Lotus Orb.
So far, it's just been Skylark with a Blink Carapace. Almost every single lasso has been immediately stopped, and it goes off, but he can't pull him into the base.
And we've seen something that, like, Digital Chaos can change their play according to that. We saw Zhao Wei in their match against Ad Fidem routinely make his initiation without Firefly, just so it didn't give that opportunity to the Nyx Assassin. If we start seeing Moon Meander do something similar here, that Spike Carapace is going to remain as an irrelevant counter-initiation.
And as it stands, the Lifesteal not really farming all too much, so DC... It's not that they're choosing to play defensive, it's very hard to get on the map because they don't have much access to smokes. When they've had smokes, they've made them count, which has probably been one of the biggest testaments to their understanding and their read of this game. But when they don't have those smokes, the map control, the vision, very favorable for Ad Fidem. They can scout with the Nyx Assassin. They've got the gem now on the Enigma as well. Resolution. He's going to be up here.
Able to get this. Spartan can lead with the Black Hole. They got him with the Impale. Black Hole combination. Resolution is done. Ad Fidem, bring him down for 60 seconds. We've been playing a bit of a waiting game here, waiting for Ad Fidem to finally make that opportunity for themselves. They get it now, 60 seconds to push out these lanes and get some real map control, and maybe we can think about the next round of objectives.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And they're kind of looking at this game, and DC's being frustrating. They're keeping lanes pushed out. They're avoiding them. I think they just understood that, all right, if we were actually going to go to the late game, who's the hero that's going to beat us? It's the Morphling. If we can just gank him, use the Black Hole, even if we don't get a Rax off of it, we're still going to scale better. But they're in a position with this top lane pushing out, they could get a Rax off this one if Morphling doesn't buy back. And even if he does, there's no split push threat. It's forcing DC into a 5v5 fight.
Thug will hold this tier 3. Madara starts laying out the damage. He's got the Hyperstone, not the full out AC just yet, but they are still chunking this tier 3 tower down pretty quick. Moon Meander. They're going to try and wait it out.
Not sure if they want to stick around too much longer, but Morphling 5 seconds till he's back.
5 seconds, and initiation about to come through. Weehaw leads with a stun onto Madara, forces out the rage. Now with the rage going down, they manage to pull back Madara, but again, the Nyx Assassin with a Spike Carapace is there. Madara will manage to infest inside a creep, and he has the Aegis ready to go. Ad Fidem will take the melee racks and be very happy with that. They may still try and fight, though, now that they have the high ground advantage. As DC comes forth, there goes Chaotic Offering onto 3, but still, just can't output the damage. Nice double stun. Once again, Skylark comes through in the clutch. They take down the Aegis of the Lifestealer, but it doesn't really matter. And Fidem are still full 5-man up, and in the background, Nolan retreat. Saksa can't even get back to the fountain. Thug managed to pick him up, and now they can turn their attention towards a tier 3 at mid. Digital Chaos, are they going to be forced into more buybacks?
Forced into more buybacks, or possibly even calling this game if they can't find a way to hold their second melee rack. That Infest worked out so well. Madara was on the back lines. He stayed in that creep, and when the fight broke out, he pops out. He's like, oh, here's a back. Here's a Warlock. I've just killed your back lines, who normally it's hard to get to. DC making it easy for Adfin to take that fight, even without the black hole. The sustain just too much. And
oh, jump forward. Nice pick off there on the Ruben. That's one way to scare Adfin back. Yep. Weehan looking for more here, but still can't find it. Moonmeander can jump forward. The Spike Carapace doesn't claim him. All the heroes of Ad Venom turn their attention towards that Bat Rider, blow him up real quick. And Weeha, again, he just bought back. He does have no items whatsoever. He really can't output the damage. That's all on Resolution. He comes forward with the BKB. They almost bring down Spartan. Looks like they should be able to after that ethereal frame. And Misery goes down as Thug just rips him apart with all that pure damage. Madara's going to be the next target of Resolution. Rage goes down and Infest inside Thug, who is practically unkillable. So Thug is just going to make his escape for it. The Lifestealer, DC can't possibly keep up with the mobility of the Timbersaw at this point.
They hold the melee racks. They also take off the gem from the Enigma, so some small saving graces for DC in the end there. They did have to buy back the Bat Rider, but the swing by taking the gem limits what Adfinim can do. But here at Adfinim, you're thinking, well, we've got that first melee racks, we took the tier 3. Let's go back to slowing things down, waiting out for that next Roshan, looking for the opportunities rather than forcing an opportunity, which is what ended up happening there in the mid lane. By forcing that melee racks as DC are respawning, you put yourself in a tough spot. If you wait for the pickoffs, use the Nyx Assassin to scout around with the Lifestealer, then you put yourself in the driver's seat.
Yeah, they do have to start respecting this Morphling. They can go ahead and disrespect the rest of DC as much as they want. They're so far down in net worth that the damage is just pitiful, but Morphling, he's the true carry here of Digital Chaos, and they're going to have to respect his shotgun combination, even just his right-click damage. Now that he has a BKB, he can play a lot more aggressively as just a physical damage dealer as well.
Yeah, that's going to be the key thing. Curious to see what he goes next. May look to something like even just a casual Blink Dagger for that initiation with a quick burst and get out, but seems that Venom, they feel good. They've got the black hole back up. They want to take a fight on the DC side. Skylark, though, isn't with the team, and that's not just Skylark, that's a Lifestealer infested, so perhaps trying to decide whether they want to play the pick-off game or the 5-man down mid game.
Maybe they're kind of posing like, oh, hey, we're going for this push at mid, when in reality they're just kind of like doing that and seeing if they can catch the Morphling when he goes for a split push. You know, he naturally sees 3 heroes, and he's like, oh, I can farm top, I can farm their jungle or something, but the reality is DC are playing much more safe.
Yeah, and we saw kind of top lane, if they want to kill that Morph, they need to bring 4 heroes, perhaps Enigma and Timbersaw for the burst damage and lockdown potential. The Nyx and Nyx can't really do it as a 2-man unit, but you know, kind of, you want to even just move out a little bit on the map to get down some wards. Radiant Vision is purely directly outside of their base. They can't get out on the map at all.
The counter ward is there. So our Nyx Assassin combination is not going to be able to get the jump onto Resolution. He waits on the high ground for his farm. Spartan's been sitting very patiently down here at bottom lane.
Expecting a Morphling, perhaps? He can't really kill Morph with just the Timbersaw's the one with Boots of Travel. I guess Lifestealer could infest the Timbersaw, but yeah, no other Boots of Travel available. It seems like he was just waiting to see if anyone's going to come out. He can farm and push this now. 2k gold, so good farm on him.
Few pokes and prods here from Ad Venom, but ultimately they are deciding, as you suggested, wait for the next Roshan, finish up some items. They've already got some big ticket items that they completed not so long ago. Aghanims on both the Timbersaw as well as the Nyx Assassin, and AC from Madara. And they actually have a lot of gold in the bank as well to be able to work around this Roshan. Oh, and a double damage, just, you know, as a little gift from Ice Frog. His approval of this Greek team. So they should be able to get this Aegis pretty easily. Unlikely that DC are going to be able to form any sort of response, as they are, I believe, entirely out of smokes. No, they got 1 on Misery to work with.
They wanted to contest Roshan. It's too late now.
Yeah.
They're drawing lines to push out the lane more likely than anything. They may want to, yeah, at this point they'll have to save that smoke for the high ground defense, looking to perhaps wrap around, catch someone like the Enigma on the back lines. Will be looks like a refresher. Could be the Lincoln Sphere, though, as mentioned. That's one of the kind of, I mean, he is going all utility so far. It's a question of whether he goes for the big playmaking item now or just the item that's going to help out Madara's Lifestealer. But as it stands with an Aegis in hand, they want to just kind of control the lanes, push him out, and then get ready to have the lifesteal siege. The problem is lifesteal with an Aegis isn't always a lifesteal with 2 lives. He gets pulled really deep into the Radiant base by the Batrider. Things can get kind of troublesome. And there is 2 4-staffs. Misery has one as well. So Moon can use his own as well as Misery's to pull the lifestealer in deep. And that forces an ad Venom fight that isn't really to their liking. If you're fighting under the tier 4s, things can get very, very messy.
Now we do have that defensive item. Lotus Orb is the choice for Spartan. They have an Aegis. Really, they have everything they need, I think, on Ad Venom to try and finish out this game.
Yeah, you put the lifesteal on there, he rages with a Lotus Orb, hits for 4 or 5 seconds, backs off. You can just rinse, repeat this, and it's a very safe way to siege, but the question is, do you find the initiation opportunities? Can Skylark find a jump, or can Moon find a jump? Who's going to get the better initiation first?
Digital Chaos on the verge of losing their very first game here at the Boston Major, attempting to hold high ground against a very stacked Ad Venom with a 20,000 plus net worth lead and almost 20,000 experience. It really doesn't get much harder than this for DC.
Yeah, their back is against the wall for sure, and it's just finding that way to put together their team fight, guarantee that Morphling can burst here. He's got buyback for this fight as well, which is going to be important if he wants to fully commit in first.
There goes the jump. They managed to get Madara before the Lotus Orb. They're going to be able to pull him back a decent distance. Double 4-staffs all the way into the tier 4 towers. Fortunately, Madara is tanky and he has that Aegis, so he does manage to get the infest inside Skylark, but now Skylark's going to be target. He immediately gets blown up, and Madara's going to be slowed down by this upheaval. Fortunately, a 4-staff will come out, gets a little bit more distance, so if he does die, Ad Venom can try and formulate some sort of response, but doesn't actually get picked off, and he'll be able to heal himself up.
That's the double 4 stuff. The threat of this, it makes messy situations. Skylark gets caught out there because he's like, oh crap, my lifesteal is under T4 towers. I've got to go in and help him.
Oh, jump forward here by Spartan. They immediately go for Misery, not allowing this big team fighting support to be able to survive, but fortunately they had a glimmer, but no counter vision from Ad Venom, so Misery will survive. So key, as that combination of decay and even the heal from Soul Rip could be vital for DC in this next team fight.
The Nyx buyback looked a bit unnecessary and rushed there, but they really tried to push the issue while the Batrider lasted on cooldown. That's the one big threat to the lifesteal. They've still got 15 seconds, but one of the shorter cooldown ultimates, and
all right, Lotus Orb and a Rage. They very quickly take down this melee Rax. Now, Madara may be gone on as he backs himself away. The Rage now gone, and the upheaval slowing him down. Luke forward. But a 4-staff save once again from Ad Venom. Maybe next time, always in position to be able to help out his core.
That's second melee rack. They've still got 2 minutes of Aegis. If they want to switch it up, they can now head towards bottom, probably deciding that this range rack isn't really a big objective to get. If anything, working on the tier 3 tower with Aegis would be a more important plan for them. It's kind of like we'll take a free TP in the jungle, but yeah, it's Venom who are going to continue to set this tempo, basically saying to DC, what's your move? What are you going to do to stop us from just taking apart your base, one building at a time? And so far it's been DC trying to just get that one pick off and then turn it into a favorable fight, but Venom are playing some very safe and calculated Dota. This is a team normally known for their aggression, but their high ground siege has been done in a very clean way.
Tier 3 gonna fall fast. Again, DC kind of have to wait out both the Rage and the Lotus Orb. But the damage is already done. Misery once again comes to target, and there is the appropriate response from DC. Now the strike comes forward, but this time around the Lotus Orb does manage to catch Moon Meander, holding himself in place, and Madara just rips them apart as the lasso fades. Now double chakra, blast the black hole! He got him! Respond with a chaotic offering. A chaotic offering turn used by maybe next time. He turns it against Digital Chaos, and DC begin to fall. Weehaw right in the front is going to really tickets to his own death. No, he actually turns. He's armlet, and he's going to be able to fight against Spartan. And Spartan making his way out will be able to take away from Misery as well. But Thug, he moves forward, goes for Resolution. Resolution has to make his way back to the fountain somehow, as Thug trying to cut him off will manage to slow him down with this Scotty. This death is so important for Thug if he can actually get the appropriate pure damage. He moves forward, chalk him out, but you're getting so many heroes on the backside. Weehaw's gonna die again. Madara blink away. Weehaw managed to make his way out. Thug, careful with that fountain. That is not your base, my friend. Digital Chaos will call it in the end. Ad Venom.
When does it stop?
I don't know. I don't know. When does this Greek Lightning team stop? They have already broken Digital Chaos's